I often get asked what the biggest single skill someone needs to be able to build a business or to be successful is, and I actually think it's kind of a trick question because there's so many skills, so many skill sets that go into running a business, building a business. When I try and think about it, the obvious things come to mind, like sales and marketing and finance or people and management skills, etc. When it actually really comes down to it, I think what has made my success, what has helped me grow my businesses and take them to the next level, it actually comes down to one thing, and that is the ability to raise finance, the ability to raise funds. And I think it's something that most business owners neglect, don't understand, and probably don't even see as a skill, because they may hand their money raising or their fundraising over to their finance director, over to a finance broker or whatever it may be. But the businesses I've been able to open, all the businesses I've been able to grow, that's all taken money. Very rarely has that ever been my money, or my money at the time. I mean, yes, nowadays I invest in other people's businesses, or I invest in my own. Even I, need to raise money, and no matter how big your business gets, you'll always find yourself needing to raise money, even if it's tens and hundreds of millions of pounds. That money needs to come from somewhere. Even if you've got it yourself, there's usually a better place for it to come from. Raising money is a skill. How do you create a deal in a format that lenders or investors are going to want to see? How do you find those lenders, and how do you find those investors? How do you talk to them? How do you present to them? How do you talk to them once they've lent you the money and you need to maintain a relationship? How do you talk to them, and how do you behave with them when things go wrong? Because believe me, people expect things to go wrong, and just because things go wrong doesn't mean those people are never going to deal with you again. But how you behave and how you talk and deal when these things do go wrong is very much the mark of who you are as a borrower, who you are as an investee company, and that will make all the difference. Whether or not these people give you what you want in your time of need and then continue to deal with you again there afterwards. Like I say, don't think money raising happens by magic. I actually believe it's the most difficult thing you'll do in business. A lot of time, people contact me asking me how to raise funds. And I always say it is probably the toughest job you will ever have to do in building and running a business. I mean, literally tougher than anything, particularly when it comes to raising equity. I talk to a lot of people day in, day out who have offers on the table from people in finance, or people that I make offers to that may not be the best offer they think they can get, or may not exactly be the offer that they want. And I always say to them, look, I'm not saying this because I want you to take my offer. Look, if my offer really doesn't work for you, or my offer is offensive for some reason, then please don't take it. But do take a very careful look at what opportunity cost you may be missing, because offers from investors, offers from lenders, unless you are an amazing business or in a very unique situation, they don't come along often. And you can find yourself being offered money today that you may not think is on the best terms, and you turn it down, you're expecting to go and try and find some more, and you could spend yourself months, potentially years, potentially never being able to replace that offer, never mind find an offer that's better than that. So I often say to a lot of early stage entrepreneurs, even mid stage entrepreneurs, when you are giving away equity in your business, do you think this business is going to be your whole life's work? Do you think you're going to still be doing this in 20, 30, 40 years time? Because if you don't, then you need to be doing this calculation. I always find that when people who are looking to have an investor in their business pitch to me, they'll be showing me an exit plan in 3 years' time or in 5 years' time, for example. If you think you're going to be exiting this business in 5 years' time, by definition, there's going to be more businesses ahead of you, more opportunities to make money. So because fundraising is the hardest thing you're going to do, don't be greedy or short-sighted today. And I honestly think, look, take the Dragon's Den. I mean, this is a prime example. I see guys on that show, and they might say, look, we want to raise £200,000 and we're prepared to give away 20% of our business. If one of these dragons offers them £100,000 for, say, 25 or 30, 35% of the business, far too often these people are quick to say no, say that they can go and get a better offer elsewhere. And now I'm not saying here just give your equity away, because obviously at this point all these people have offered is their equity. But what would you rather have, 60% of something or 100% of nothing? And I think to get the money you need at the time you need it, and hopefully to get an investor who's got a skill set and a contact base and stuff to bring to you, is so much more important than arguing over another 5% or 10% or 15% equity. Look, obviously if the deal's utterly horrendous, you can't take it. But if you're arguing over a quantum of 10% here, 15% there, and you think you're going to be selling this business in 3, 4, 5 years, I honestly think you should take the money, you should go, do your deal, deliver on what you say you're going to deliver upon, and the next time round you've got more cash, you've got more track record to be able to dictate your terms better. So don't get hung up on equity, don't sweat what I would say are the small things, but most importantly, the biggest skill that you can have in trying to build your business is the ability to raise money.